Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Prasar Bharati. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. In the World Cup finals, Australia win the toss and elect to bowl first against India. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to watch both teams clash for the title after 20 years. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defends military actions in Gaza, says Israel abides by the laws of war. India sends second batch of humanitarian aid to Palestine. Indian Air Force C-17 aircraft carrying 32 tons of aid departs for Al Arish Airport in Egypt. And in the ICC World Cup final, India is taking on Australia at the Narendra Modi Stadium in India's western city of Ahmedabad. Australian skipper Pat Cummins won the toss and elected to bowl. Both the teams retain the same side that played in semi-finals. So far, it's been a dream run for Rohit Sharma's men in blue, and they are invincible in the tournament with 10 wins in 10 matches. The road to the final has been nothing short of spectacular. And on the other hand, Australia has lost 2 matches in the league stage, but they bounced back with 8 consecutive wins. They will eye their 6th title. Well, for more on this, I've been joined by my correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya, who's outside the Narendra Modi Stadium. Tapas, World Cup final 2023, India versus Australia. Do I need to say more? How's the atmosphere there and how energized people are for this epic clash?
Oh yes, absolutely. You don't need to say more because the public and people in Ahmedabad and all over the world actually vying for to be in the history books. In fact, right now I'm outside the Narendra Modi Stadium, and as I mentioned, this is a place where history is supposed to be created. It's either India or Australia which is going to come up with the trophy. The first, let me give you a slight idea how exactly people are coming in. Its match has already started. And it's the second over. India has already scored more than 13 runs, and yet people are queuing up to get inside the stadium. It's a sea of blue outside the stadium, and the script is already written. Why I'm telling you this, Siddharth? The fact remains that in 2003, the same thing happened. Both the teams made it to the final.
Yeah.
At that time, when the toss happened, Indian captain Saurav Ganguly won the toss and opted to field first. Same thing happening. Australian team won the toss and Pat Cummins opted to field first. Will the history repeat itself? We will wait for 100 overs to wrap up and see. But one thing is for sure that if history is anything to go by, we might find India coming out with triumph and getting their 3rd World Cup trophy for 1983, 2011, and 2023. For Australia also, nobody can take them for lightly. Yeah. They have been on a roller coaster ride. They have won 8 matches on the trot. But again, one has to take into consideration the history. We go back to history all the time. 2003, India lost the first match against Australia in the group stage, yeah, and lost the final match against Australia. Here, 2023, Australia lost the first match to India. Whether they lose the final match remains to be seen. You think, Siddharth, that if we go by what history says, then on form, on paper, India remains favourite. For bookies also, India remains favourite. We have to see. And there's a huge crowd, as I mentioned. And Pat Cummins in his press conference mentioned the fact that he would like to silence the crowd. It doesn't look like it will happening soon. Siddharth.
Well, definitely, Tapas. It's time to bleed blue. Every Indian want that they lift the World Cup. The World Cup team India wins this World Cup on home soil. Tapas, we were just discussing yesterday that the capacity is 130,000, and more than that would be outside the stadium to witness this epic clash. To just get a glimpse, now tell us about the security arrangements.
Absolutely. Siddharth, let me just put it this way. We talk about the, you cover sports also. You know how the center of cricket or the capital of cricket have always been the MCG, or for that matter UK. But in the last few years, the center of cricket, the capital of cricket, has shifted to here in Ahmedabad, in the Gujarat's Ahmedabad. It's Narendra Modi Stadium. Why I'm saying this? There was the largest cricket stadium used to be MCG. It's almost close to 1 lakh capacity. Now Narendra Modi Stadium has surpassed that. It has gone beyond 1,30,000 capacity. So the power center, as we mentioned, power centers in cricket from 1960s, 70s, 80s till now has shifted. Now power center of cricket stays in India. India calls the shot, the BCCI calls the shot, and that's one great thing. And other part that I like to mention here, the security arrangement you spoke about. More than 6,000 Gujarat police personnel are currently deployed, and it's a huge number just to make sure that no untoward incident take place in this particular stadium. Apart from that, there is a rapid action force that has also been deployed, and that too in good number, just to make sure that everything is in smooth order. So security aspect has been taken care of, and the logistics has also been taken care of. The only problem is that as much as 1,30,000 you can accommodate inside the stadium, they're almost twice the number waiting outside to get a glimpse of their demigods. In India, cricket is a religion, and the cricketers are demigods. Siddharth.
Well, definitely, you said it so right that in India, cricket is not just a game, it's all about religion. Cricket is a religion in India. On that note, thank you so much, Tapas, for joining in. Well, I've been also joined by my correspondent, Abhishek Mahajan from Amroha. Abhishek, cricket is not just a game in India, it's a religion altogether. And you are there in Amroha right now. Tell us exactly where you are. And I know that's a place where Mohammad Shami belongs to, and he's perhaps the leading wicket taker of this tournament. How are people, expressing their excitement when it comes to this epic clash between India and Australia 2023 in Narendra Modi Stadium, world's biggest stadium?
Absolutely, Siddharth. I mean, I am at Doha, where this is Mohammad Shami's village, who has taken maximum wickets in this particular World Cup so far. 23 wickets in 6 matches he has taken so far. But yes, it's like stadium-like atmosphere here. You can see people enjoying the live screening here. And why I'm saying that it's a stadium-like atmosphere, because people are sitting on the tree branches also, you can see, and they are enjoying the live screening also. And I have some locals with me and who have also played cricket with Mohammad Shami. If you can have them here on our show. आप खेले हैं क्रिकेट मोहम्मद शमी के साथ, आपके साथ खेले हैं और आपने कप्तानी की है जो टीम के साथ वो खेलते थे लोकल यहाँ पर। किस तरह की वो शख्सियत है, और यहाँ तो सब लोग इतना शोर मचा रहे हैं, वो तो बिल्कुल शांत स्वभाव के। काफी चीज में बात करें हमारे दोनों बैट्समैन में, ये हम चाहते हैं कि ये हमारे दोनों की पैमाना मजबूती के साथ देना और दोनों की पैमाना बनाकर आप भी काफी समय से मोहम्मद शमी को फॉलो करते आ रहे हैं, और आप मोहम्मद शमी के गांव आए हैं क्रिकेट देखने के लिए। किस तरह का माहौल, अच्छा लग रहा है आपको, और लगता है भारतीय टीम वर्ल्ड कप जीतने जा रही है?
All right, Abhishek, it seems like the audio is not that clear.
And they want India to lift the World Cup, and we can see people enjoying the live screening here. And yes, people are excited. People here want Mohammad Shami to do well again, like he has been performing in the entire tournament.
Well, definitely, like I said, Abhishek, it's time now to bleed blue, and every Indian is praying that we lift the World Cup. India lifts the World Cup this time around, and that too in Narendra Modi Stadium, which is world's biggest stadium, having a capacity of 1,30,000. Now, we also have a correspondent, Anil Thomas, joining us from Delhi. Anil, let's talk about pitch now. What's going to be a big score on this wicket? And, as the day will progress, will it be a difficult task for the batting side?
What the Indian captain has done, unlike the South Africans, who didn't get the liberty of scoring so freely in the opening 10 overs. I think Rohit Sharma is trying to unsettle the Australians there, going ballistic on that particular track, and that unsettles any opposition. So the big advantage that Australia was trying to exploit on the conditions there early on with the new ball not working, and Indian batsmen, they're right on top over the Australians. Yes, the wicket will assist the spinners a bit, and since India has not made any change in the playing 11 or playing in with 3 spinners, I think the Australian captain was tempted to field first on that particular track. But it's a good toss. I think, in the final, I've always believed, the best of captains who won the World Cups or who have reached the finals, I've always spoken about how they were lucky to lose the toss. And I think 20 years later, last time around in 2003, Sourav Ganguly won the toss. And for that matter, in 1996 semi-final, other 2 won the toss. So this time around, Rohit not having the spin of the coin, but surely, a laughing Rohit and a laughing India at the end of the day with the trophy in our hands is all that we are expecting.
Well, definitely, I can see, Anil, a crowd behind you is enjoying the screening of this match, India versus Australia 2023 final, where exactly you are and how energized the crowd is. I can see the crowd behind you enjoying this screening of match.
Well, that's the reason I've been asking people to come and speak on camera. They said, let the match, at least the first innings, get over. But, there is no seat available there in any of the places in Delhi where live streaming of the matches are happening. It's a packed house, early afternoon. There is no covers here, but people enjoying cricket, and that's what makes this game special. Cricket in India is almost like a religion, and the way the Indian team has performed, the expectations have increased, and you see every run that the batsmen are scoring, there's a huge cheer, a capacity of say 200 people, but the noise that they're creating is almost as good as you would hear anywhere in any part of any stadium where cricket is played anywhere in the world. So exciting atmosphere here, everyone expecting India to come good, but for that 100 overs of action has to end, but surely a great start there by India, and the fans in full cheer, full support for Team Blue.
Definitely. And Anil, is there any possibility that you could talk to some of the fans who are present there and you could ask that how exactly they're feeling about this clash?
Well, I've been trying to get them out of their seats. They said we'll wait for the first innings to end. We'll see how India has scored. Then we will start talking. I think too early to talk for the fans. They are excited about seeing India bat. I think they want to cherish the moment where they see Rohit Sharma and Shubman Gill going good, expecting Virat Kohli, the local boy, to come and score big in this final. So a lot of expectations from them. They are still not ready to move out of their seats. You see it's a jam-packed crowd here. Almost 200 people here in the national capital watching this live screening. And that's where, that's what makes cricket so exciting. It can happen, the final can happen in Ahmedabad, but people anywhere and everywhere in part of India excited about watching that big final.
Well, definitely. And one thing's for sure, Anil, that India versus Australia, this is going to be an epic clash of cricketing titans. On that note, thank you so much for joining in. Well, still to come on this edition of GT India Live. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defends military's action in Gaza. Zelensky slapped sanctions on 108 people, 37 Russian groups. Japanese troops conduct drills on island beach at East China Sea.
Turning crisis into opportunity, transforming ideas into action, stories of real change, tales of sustainable solution.
This series is going to tell stories of such change makers.
Watch Change Makers on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. An update on Israel-Hamas conflict now. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defended the military's actions in Gaza since the October 7 attack by Hamas. During a briefing on Saturday in defense headquarters in Tel Aviv, Netanyahu said Israel abides by the laws of war.
Israel abides by the laws of the war. That's how our army works, the most moral army in the world. Humanitarian aid is also vital to maintain international support. Without humanitarian aid, even our best friends will find it difficult to support us over time. And it will be very difficult for us to continue the war until the end. We also said that we won't give fuel to Hamas, and this is right. These 2 trucks were requested for the operation of sewage and water pumps in south of the Gaza Strip.
India continues to deliver humanitarian aid to Palestine. The second batch of C-17 aircraft carrying 32 tons of aid departs for Al Arish Airport in Egypt. The development was confirmed by Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar. India had sent the first batch of aid that included medical and disaster relief to Palestine on October 22nd. Other than India, a plane from Saudi Arabia is set to depart from Riyadh. The plane carrying aid and relief supplies for Gaza will travel to Egypt's Arish Airport in North Sinai. According to Saudi Foreign Minister Faisal bin Farhan, ministers from Arab and Islamic nations will make their first stop in China on Monday as part of a tour aimed at bringing an end to the conflict in Gaza. Russian drones hit infrastructure facilities in Ukraine in an overnight assault that caused power outages in more than 400 towns and villages in south, southeast and north of the country, according to the Ukrainian military president. The President Volodymyr Zelensky congratulated the Air Force for shooting down 29 out of 38 Iranian-made shaded drones in several Ukrainian regions on Saturday.
Over the past night, almost 30 Shahid drones were destroyed in our sky. I thank all soldiers of mobile fire groups, aviation, of our Air Force and anti-aircraft missile forces. Your accuracy, guys, literally means life for Ukraine. The closer we are to the winter, the more Russians will try to make the strikes more powerful.
Well, Japanese Marines in amphibious assault vehicles stormed an island beach at the edge of East China Sea in simulated attack. Tokyo considers the area vulnerable to attack from China. The scope and pace of military exercises in Japan are likely to increase over the next few years, including with US forces. Japan is seeing its biggest military build-up since World War II, with a pledge to double defense spending over 5 years. Relief and rescue operations continue in northern Indian state of Uttarakhand for 8th consecutive day today to rescue 41 workers trapped in the under-construction tunnel in Uttarkashi. The Border Roads Organization and the construction wing of the Indian Army is clearing a path for rescue machines to reach the top. Uttarakhand Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami and Union Minister Nitin Gadkari conducted an on-site inspection of the operations. Minister Gadkari said in a press conference that all types of expert teams are working on the rescue operations.
मैं इतना ही बता सकता हूँ कि ये जो ऑगर मशीन है, ये अगर ठीक से चल गई तो हम 2-2.5 दिन में वहाँ तक पहुँच सकते हैं और वो भी प्रयास सबसे नज़दीक होने वाला है। पर इसके अलावा अलग अलग प्रयास चाहे कितने भी दिन के हो, अगर उसके लिए भी हमने वर्टिकल भी अनेक प्रकार से जगह देकर वहाँ भी अंदर जाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi slammed Congress for wasting 5 years on infighting at his rally in Rajasthan. Prime Minister said Rajasthan's Congress leaders have been busy in putting each other off and doing no work for people.
पूरा देश क्रिकेट के जोश से भरा हुआ है। क्रिकेट में बैट्समैन आता है और अपनी टीम के लिए रन बनाता है, लेकिन कांग्रेस वालों में ऐसा झगड़ा है कि रन बनाना तो दूर, ये लोग एक दूसरे को रन आउट करने में लगे हैं। कांग्रेस सरकार के 5 साल एक दूसरे को रन आउट करने में बीत गए। जो बचे हैं वो महिलाओं और अन्य मुद्दों पर गलत बयान देकर हिट विकेट किए जा रहे हैं, हिट विकेट हुए जा रहे हैं। और बाकी जो है वो पैसे लेकर, रिश्वत लेकर मैच फिक्सिंग कर लेते हैं और कुछ काम नहीं करते।
All right, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.
Turning crisis into opportunity.